right, Ms. Getting. So we just finished your plaque score, and based on that, we did see that you did have, a pretty high plaque score, and we do believe that you have gingivitis. So that would be a reason that we're going to do our patient education PowerPoint. So what is plaque? So plaque is a sticky film of bacteria that forms on teeth and can form on implants as well. Bacteria colonize and multiply if we do not remove that plaque. This bacteria can lead to oral diseases, so gingivitis, and if we don't address it, can progress on to periodontal disease as well. So plaque can cause cavities, gingivitis, periodontal disease. And you can see here, this is a healthy tooth. You can see a tooth with that plaque is gonna lead to that inflammation, that redness, that gingivitis as well. So how do cavities form? The bacteria in that plaque feed on sugars that we eat. This then produces acids. This acid leads to the demineralization of the enamel, and then this allows for cavity formation. So you can again see here, it's just showing those steps, that process of that acid formation and leading to that demineralization and cavity. So gingivitis, if plaque is not removed, it can lead to that. So there's some common signs of gingivitis. You'll see that red, swollen gums, bleeding when brushing and flossing, and sensitivity of your gums. It can be reversed if we do the proper steps of removing that plaque and getting your bacteria back to healthy. So periodontitis. This is if we do not address that gingivitis and let it progress, it's going to lead to periodontal disease. Bacteria spreads below the gums, bone loss occurs, and it can lead to tooth loss, and that bone loss is permanent, so it's not reversible. So calculus, when plaque is mineralized and it hardens, it becomes calculus, also known as tartar. It cannot be removed just by brushing. It has to be removed by a dental professional. So when you come in to get your cleanings and you get that scaling done, that's how we can remove that calculus. So calculus contributes to periodontal disease because the surface of calculus allows for more bacteria and plaque to accumulate. This leads to gum irritation and inflammation. Gums begin to separate from the tooth, forming those periodontal pockets, and these pockets can lead to bone loss. So this is just kind of showing our stages of gum disease. You've got a healthy gum and tooth, gingivitis, you've got that redness, inflammation, you would have bleeding on probing. Then we progress to periodontitis, where the gums start to separate from the tooth, and you've got those pockets and bone loss starts to form, and then advanced periodontitis, you're gonna have severe bone loss, severe pocketing. So diet and nutrition and your oral health. So like we were talking about earlier, bacteria feeds on that sugar, so we do want to limit our sugar intake and avoid frequent snacking and sipping. So you want to kind of limit it to those meal times and try not to be just constantly sipping on sugary drinks like coffee, things like that. And you do want to drink plenty of water to kind of flush out that oral biome. So here's just some drinks and foods that you want to either avoid or ones that are good for you. Something I always like to mention, especially with kids, if you've got young kids, people think of sugars as just like sodas and candy, but you kind of forget about carbohydrates being a sugar. So careful with like crackers and things like that really get stuck in your teeth, and those sugars break down as well. So that's always an important note. So some methods of plaque control, some home care tips. We do want to brush at least 2 times daily. We want to be flossing at least once daily. Would recommend adding some other aids, maybe a water flosser would be good to incorporate, and then always regularly visiting your dental professional. So for brushing, I would recommend the Bass method. So you're going to be, let me demonstrate for you. So with our Bass method, we're going to be at that 45-degree angle towards the gum line and doing small vibratory strokes. Kind of you can kind of do a circular motion or kind of vibratory, but that 45-degree angle at the gum line is going to be important. With brushing our tongue, you don't want to scrub the tongue. You want to just 90 degrees and just do nice brushing down the tongue. So very important to be brushing your tongue. With flossing, you want to make sure you're hugging the tooth. So you're going to want to do the C shape. C shape where you're wrapping around the tooth on both sides. And you don't want to go too hard to where we cut our gums, so just make sure you snap it in nicely without snapping your gums. When you're flossing, wrap around your middle finger. You'll do on your dominant hand all the way. On your non-dominant hand, just go 2. And then that way you can, as you're going, move along. So you're using fresh new floss around your mouth. So with brushing again, you're gonna wanna go in a sequence, but we recommend maybe doing 2 different sequences, one in morning, one at night, starting in a area maybe that you miss more frequently. So say you're not too great about getting these molars back here, maybe try to start there so you know that you're getting it, and then at night maybe switch to the other side. And then you're gonna wanna be brushing, like we said, morning and night, and for 2 minutes at least. And then toothpaste, I would probably recommend always a toothpaste with fluoride. You want to make sure it's got that ADA seal of approval, so you'll see this here. So that would be that. And then I would recommend for floss, maybe an Oral-B Glide. It's going to help you not snap your gum tissue that we were talking about, and since you've got gingivitis, might have some inflammation, so we want to make sure that we're not damaging our gums further. So fluoride, we know the benefits of fluoride are going to be reduces sensitivity, prevents demineralization, promotes remineralization, and inhibits plaque bacteria. So that fluoride is definitely going to be good for you. That's why I would recommend that for a toothpaste, and then also when you're coming in for your cleanings, we could do the fluoride varnish for you to get that extra fluoride. Also, just through your drinking water, you can get fluoride. So lots of different ways to make sure you're getting that fluoride intake. And then an auxiliary aid that I would recommend would be a water pick. So you can see here, it's good to, good. So the water pick is going to be good, just kind of as an additional aid. You still want to make sure you're using your regular floss, but that water pick really helps to flush out some of that bacteria and plaque. All right, well, patient, if you could perform, if I could see you doing the brushing methods and flossing methods. Nice, getting that good C shape, good job. And then that, make sure you're doing that 45-degree angle, vibratory, good. Great job. Alrighty, I think that you did a great job, and I hope you learned something.
Thank you.